Hey everyone, this is Gus, your friendly neighborhood Salesforce admin. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to add a bucket field to a report. So this is a really great, straightforward way to group similar values together without having to create new picklist values or new fields. Just a great way to group some information together. The benefits of doing that are you can clean up the appearance of your reports. So if you have 20, 25 values that all have similar characteristics that you need to group together for any given reason, this is a great way to do that at the report level instead of having to reinvent the wheel. It also is a great way to determine percentages. So if you want to see get a percentage of records that fall under XYZ categories within those buckets, this can be a great way to achieve that type of reporting as well. So without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to talk briefly about how to use a bucket report column. So I've got this demo report right here that I've creatively entitled Demo Lead Bucket. So you'll see I've got SpongeBob SquarePants and Bob Belcher in here. And you'll notice on the left-hand side, I have lead source group with a little bucket icon. So that is the grouping that I've created within this report. So that field doesn't exist anywhere else. I haven't had to reconfigure my pick list values or anything like that. It only lives within this specific report. So to show you how we got there, what we're going to do is go into the report editor. And then we'll click this drop-down menu above the columns and add bucket column. So since I've already created this particular bucket, we're going to open it up here. So this is the same interface that you see when you click it from that drop-down menu. Nothing really crazy here. You basically just select the values that apply to a certain group, and then you can use this new bucket button in order to create that label. So I'm just going to call this Demo Bucket 3. And you'll see that the bucket icons reflect pretty much instantaneously here as well. What's important to note is that you can use pretty much any field as your bucket. So we could go based on lead owner, we could go based on lead status, lead source, whatever it is that we're looking at, and use that as our basis for these groupings. So I'm going to apply this new bucket that I just created, and then save and run. And so what's important to note here is that basically with a quick few clicks around this particular interface, you can set up groupings based on whatever criteria and categories you've selected without having to reinvent the wheel and change up your pick list values, your field settings, anything like that. It's just a really clean way to present your data without having to sort of overcomplicate things. So that was bucketing reports in about 2 minutes. All right, folks, that was how to use a bucketed column in a report. So really great skill to have as far as being able to quickly recategorize a bunch of values that you're looking at in a report, make the report look much cleaner without having to sort of reinvent the wheel, recreate pick list values, set up new fields, anything like that. Those buckets are just used in that specific report, so they don't propagate anywhere else, unlike everything else you ever do in Salesforce. So it's a great tool to make sure that your data looks as clean as possible whenever you're presenting it to the people who are going to actually consume that data. So really glad I could share this with you, and we'll see you next time.